It's the Galatron, of course. I mean, whoever holds the Galatron sort of is the master of the
We
future
keep
of the
saying
galaxy.
this word and it just has no meaning. Tickets for PDXCon 2019 are now available. Tickets are limited and we've already sold out of the Emperor tier, so act fast. If you've purchased your tickets before the end of May, you enjoy a 20% discount. It's not another timer, we're back in space with Stellaris Ancient Relics. Hi, I'm Blondie, I'm streaming director of Paradox Interactive. I'm here with Daniel Murugard, the game director of Stellaris.
Yeah.
It's your first announcement as game director.
First announcement as game director. Feels good.
Feels good,
it's
nice.
really cool. I'm really happy with Ancient Relics because it's sort of touching on a lot of the points that make Stellaris great. Stellaris, one of the greatest sort of aspects of it is, of course, the exploration. Ancient Relics attempts to do then is to expand the field of exploration. But so where the Distant Stars story pack dealt more with wide exploration, exploring the vastness of space, Ancient Relics sort of changes that, and instead of going wide, you sort of explore deep instead.
So it's a very deep pit rather than a shallow ocean. Is that what you want to?
Yeah, basically. So instead of exploring the vastness of space, you instead explore the past and investigate alien civilizations and their history.
It's fine. We'll edit it.
One of the biggest, things, something we already written a dev diary about, is the archaeology aspect. When you explore, you can find sites. I'm just gonna sort of trigger this on and see if we can find something. Oops. There we go.
Archaeological site found. The entire surface of this small asteroid is covered in robot debris trapped in its weak gravity field. All of it appears military in nature, and there are enough combat droids here to outfit several armies had they not been shattered beyond all repair.
So archaeological sites basically have a bunch of chapters. At the start you can't see how many chapters they have, but what you do is you send a scientist to it, similar to how you do with anomalies. When we have a scientist assigned to the site will progress through phases. Each phase is 90 days. So when I unpause, we just tick down, and whenever a phase ends, it will roll a dice. So it works quite similar to how Siege works in E4.
Yeah.
But the math is slightly different. So we will make a roll now soon. And we got a roll of
6.
We got a roll of 4, but the result is 6 because the skill bonus was 2 higher than the difficulty of the site. So it adds 2 to the roll, 6 on the result, 1 extra clue. I mean, in some cases, if you have a really low skill scientist and a really high difficulty site, you can't actually progress anymore. Theoretically, it's possible in a system, like if you mod, for example, and you add something that has very high difficulty, then you obviously would need to offset that by having a scientist skill. That's fair enough.
Since you said mod, people can add their own archaeological sites?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So this is how archaeology works.
Yeah.
But what is the point?
The cool thing with archaeology is that you can actually progress through the story of a site. So you actually have a story that sort of tells itself. That's a weird way of putting it.
Yeah, sure.
It envelops.
All right, let's go with it.
Over multiple chapters. Since they are actually visible on the map, you sort of get a better mental model of what is happening where. You can sort of go back and read what happened to previous chapters as well.
Oh.
So you can really go back and read what happened through the chapters. You can read the random events that happened. When you're progressing through these chapters, you can also get random events that happen. So whereas the chapters sort of describe a narrative from a more of a neutral or sort of fact based perspective, the random events are more written from the perspective of the people on the site.
Okay.
So it can be like, the scientist being, chased by robots, or
that's amazing.
a poor junior officer, leans against the wall and falls down a sort of a rabbit hole. The thing I really like is it really turns out really, really well at experiencing the story content through multiple chapters. You don't have to read everything at once. You have a location on the map where you see it happens.
Yeah.
You can go back and read. It really heightens the experience in my mind. You can obviously find a lot of cool things as well. Minor artifacts, for example. That's a pretty common reward to find when you progress through the chapters. You find some minor artifacts.
Imagine and I'm not saying that this is true, but it's definitely true. Imagine I haven't really read or paid attention to the dev diaries that we've put out so far about archaeology and this updates. What are minor artifacts?
Minor artifacts are essentially nameless and less important artifacts that you can find from lost civilizations.
So this is
But
a
maybe more on that
free
later.
feature, or is this part of the
The minor
Ancient
artifacts are part of Ancient Relics.
Work
The
out.
archaeology as a system
okay.
won't be necessarily paid. So
Yeah.
you will be able to mod with the archaeology system,
Mhm.
but all of the
content.
written content is a part of the Ancient Relics.
So if modders want to use the system, they can use it, and people can play with their mod without owning
Exactly.
the DLC. But if you want what we created, then you are going to have to get Ancient Relics, which, if I'm looking at our website, is going to be $9.99.
Okay, we actually got a random event here.
Ooh.
Upon closer examination, the smashed droids found on the surface of EUD 893 appears to have originated from two distinct cultures. The technology of the droids must have been evenly matched when they were still functioning, but there are many subtle differences that hint of a different design in origin. So we found some minor artifacts there. Actually, I was wrong. That was not a random event, but
Okay.
that was us succeeding with the first chapter.
Okay.
So when you find the site, you find a site summary,
Mm-hmm.
or the sort of prologue of what's
Yeah,
happening here, right? So when we complete the chapter, we sort of, upon closer examination, you learn more things. Maybe we should talk about new precursors.
Yes, there are new precursors in Ancient Relics. What are these new precursors?
I mean, new precursors is something people have been asking for forever.
Yeah.
And we're really happy to be able to finally add two new ones. So they are the Throne and the Baul. The Throne are basically a psionic precursor that first discovered the Shroud.
Yeah.
And then they sort of managed to manifest their destiny inside the Shroud and sort of live there as gods, so to speak.
Okay.
And then something happened to them. That's something that you will have to figure out yourself when you actually get the chance to explore their content through the new archaeology system.
Oh, so the precursors are through the archaeology system and not through the anomalies.
Some might be through anomalies and special projects, but they're mostly through the archaeology system.
That's cool.
The second one is the Baul, essentially a plantoid hive mind. So imagine like a sort of a true pacifist hive mind organism that sort of like only experienced sort of life growth and formed sort of symbiotic relationships with other alien wildlife that they encountered.
Yeah.
And then something happened to them too.
Something happened. Yeah, I mean they're precursors, so they're not around. Therefore, something must have happened. I'm really looking forward to reading all these storylines. I think our content design team is fantastic at making this.
I am 100% sure that people will love the new stories for these two precursors, because it's really goddamn cool.
As relics.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. So this is a free feature coming in 2.3.
Some parts are.
Some parts. Interesting.
The system is free, so you can mod and add more cool things as you want. And some content tied, some of the things tied to previous content will be a part of the base game or whichever DLC they're tied to.
All right.
But there will also be a whole bunch of new content in Ancient Relics.
Fantastic.
So it's also mixed.
New tab on the Traditions screen.
So what type of relic do you want? Maybe
Galatron.
Maybe the Galatron.
Oof. The Galatron. That sounds amazing. What is the Galatron? So activation cost 150 influence. Passive effects influence +3. Active effects. The Galatron randomly spews forth resources.
Should I click it?
Yes.
Oh.
What are you looking for?
Did you notice how much score we have? Which is also, I noticed there's a bug there that's not fixed. But you see that the relics give 20,000 score.
What? Okay.
So the Galatron gives a whole lot of score.
That's crazy.
So imagine a scenario in some sort of future dev class whenever we play a game that counts the score.
Yeah.
It's going to be very important to have the Galatron.
Dale, can we do a dev clash where we play for score now? Also, can I play and not commentate?
You know, you can take the Galatron for some people.
I was gonna ask that. Can you take the relics from other people?
Not all of them, but the Galatron you can. Specifically because, it's the Galatron. Of course, I mean, whoever holds the Galatron is the master of the
We
future
keep
of the
saying
galaxy.
this word and it just has no meaning.
Well, it's the Galatron. It's inside this box.
Okay, sure.
Can't you see it's glowing?
Yeah, I know. It makes total sense. Absolutely.
Speaking of glowing, I'm just gonna click it.
Oh, all that glitters is not dark matter. We got 5,000 alloys.
The Galatron is actually something you get if you own Megacorp, because it's something you find from the Caravaneers.
All right, so this one is free to everyone who owns Megacorp.
Yeah, if you own Megacorp, you will be able to get Galatron as a relic.
You don't have to get Ancient Relics.
No.
All right, that's amazing.
Probably going to be more chances. Necessarily, everything is not balanced. I think 5,000 alloys might actually be a little bit much. Now I think about it.
We have time to balance it. Can you give a round number of how many relics there are?
There's a whole bunch. I think it's 20.
20.
And most of those are part of Ancient Relics, but some will be part of old content. I mean, you might recognize that thing.
That looks familiar. I'm not sure. Ether Drake Trophy. I'm gonna guess here that this comes with Leviathans. We had a question, are relics moddable?
Yes.
Yes, so you can add your own relics. There are some really good total conversion mods. Imagine all the relics you could add. This is amazing.
Let's see.
Extra dimensional warlock.
We have captured an unbidden warlock.
Ooh.
This one will also be part of the base game. So if you own the base game,
so you can get this one no matter what.
Yeah.
Daniel, I think we're spoiling our fans. Let's move on to the rest of the screen that we have open here.
Yes.
So
I've never actually shown off the minor artifacts as part of the interface. You only see the minor artifacts in here. You don't actually see them in the top bar.
Okay.
And the reason is they're not supposed to feel like a part of the game economy. They're more supposed to feel like a resource tied to these specific actions. They're not going to be a part of the game economy in that sense either. They won't be used in upkeep. You won't get them passively. They're more supposed to be used through mainly this interface. All of these are not necessarily perfectly balanced, but that's not necessarily always the intention with content in Stellaris either. Like, it's not designed to be perfectly competitively balanced. It's more like you also have to add a lot of content that feels like it's flavorful.
Yeah.
So I've only showed some of them, and they're quite varied. Some of them are ethics dependent. Some will be unlocked by a technology. You will also get some minor artifact actions by interacting with some of the precursor content.
Yep.
Old precursor content and new precursor content can have effects on. You can sort of spend minor artifacts to unlock bonuses.
Yeah. Interesting.
To sort of uncover their secrets, so to speak.
Do we have anything else we want to show?
I think I've shown a lot of the patch content already with the designations and the being able to automate planets.
Sure. Yeah, we showed that last time, but let's do a quick run through because we haven't uploaded that video.
So previously would automatically form sectors, which we didn't quite feel worked out as well as we would have wanted. Right now you can just open a planet as you can. You could already do this by clicking the flag if it's your own territory, and then you can just click create new sector, boom, and it just creates a new sector here.
And how long does it how far does it stretch out?
It will take all systems within 4 jumps. So to illustrate that, let's just build some
stuff up there.
Yeah.
One more, there we go.
Completed.
And
so they will be out of range.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but if we would have moved our sector capital over here, then this would probably be in range now.
Yeah, now it's in range.
So it's pretty easy to change your shift your sectors around, move the capitals, or just delete the sectors if you want to. You don't have to be in a sector to have automation anymore.
Yeah.
You can automate each planet.
Okay.
On and off. You can create a sector. You can still, give it a focus like you could previously.
Yeah.
So it has like an overarching focus, but each planet can be set to an designation. You can still keep the automatic designation, which sort of gives the planet a role, like mining world, agri world, or whatever, depending on what's built there. But you can instead choose to, if you want to, set it manually. So like, I'm deciding that this is going to be a forge world. So and if you turn on automation, the planet will be automatically developed for you and try to turn it into a forge world, and it will also have like a certain build order that will try to execute. Each designation has a different build order it tries to execute. So you could, for example, like if you have a large sector with on the top level, can set its focus to minerals.
Yeah.
And then you can just leave all these planets on automatic, designation.
Yeah.
And it will just try to develop them into whatever the sector focus seems fit.
All right.
But then, in some cases, a sector forms here, but you have one planet in the sector that like, oh, it has a good planet modifier, I'm gonna turn this into my tech world, or you want to manage it yourself somehow. You don't have to automate that planet. You can just turn off automation. It's manual control.
That's great.
So you develop it regardless if it's in a sector or not. The same token, if you have a planet inside your core sector that you don't want to develop yourself, like this planet maybe, you could just turn on automation. I want you to automate this into a mining world. Well, in this case, it's probably a bad idea, but it would probably be
it wasn't a great world to begin with, but
let's say a rural world. Maybe it makes more sense with these districts. And then bam, you just leave it automated.
That's so good.
It's pretty cool.
I don't think pretty cool covers it, but let's go with pretty cool.
I am very conservative with my
look. I work in
describe things.
I work in marketing. I'm here to hype things up, and you can hype them down, and then we'll find a good middle ground, right?
Yeah. If you hear me say that's very good, you should be very excited.
Yeah, maybe we have some good questions that people like. Well, good questions might be overdoing it. Let's
show the ring worlds. So ring worlds. They are size 5, which might look a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But it's because instead of having like regular districts, they now have segments. And segments are extremely powerful districts.
Yeah. Wow.
So you don't have to go back and manage the planet as much. You have a lot less choices, or rather repetitive choices.
Yeah.
So instead you have fewer and more impactful choices, which should fit this megastructure a little bit better. And also it's pretty cool that it's feels a little bit more unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
It also has a research segment right now, which makes it very good for
that
research.
Seems very powerful.
Yes, it does.
How much do the segments cost towards Empire Sprawl? It's a good one. One. That's
why they're very good. Very cheap administratively.
Wow. Okay, ring worlds are amazing.
Yep.
I think we're gonna take the final question here, and it was about how you find the archaeology sites. So do they show up only when you survey a system, or is it?
It's mixed.
It's mixed.
They can show up it's from a modding perspective. For example, you can just create a site on a planet.
Yeah.
But how it works, in terms of a player perspective, is you can find them on survey. They can be created by events. They can be created by anything like a special project or anomaly, because they're essentially events. And some are actually spawned from the start.
Okay.
Very rarely, but there are some.
Daniel, thank you for coming and showing us this amazing patch and this amazing
thank
DLC.
You for hosting, and thank you everyone for showing up and listening to us.
Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.